Whether you just got your first Switch for Christmas and are looking for a list of great games, or you've had the console since launch and want to see what games make this list. In this video, I thought it would be fun to make a list of the best 15 games on Nintendo's highly successful handheld hybrid console. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Robot Joe and I'll be your host. Let's get started. So first, I just want to say these won't all be first party games. Some ports, some indie games, and so on. Let's go ahead and get into it. When thinking of the Nintendo Switch, there's usually two games that immediately come to mind. These are synonymous with the Switch, and are often regarded as the best games in the entire library, so let's go ahead and get them out of the way. I could make an entire video explaining why Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest games of all time on any console, and my favorite game of all time, but you don't have 15 hours to watch a YouTube video. And if you do, I salute you. Besides this game being the first open world Zelda game, and the blueprint for tons of games to come after, Breath of the Wild is just special. You're thrown out into the land of Hyrule with no path set before you. Go out and do what you want when you want. After beating the game, I thought I would pick it back up and just play around for a few hours, and now I've beat the game a total of 4 times. It's staggering how well this game runs on the Switch. Every time a broken, ambitious game comes out, the first argument always to come up is that the Breath of the Wild runs perfectly on the Switch. If you haven't played it, go out and buy it and play the game. Like right now. Well, not right now. Wait until this video's over and then go and do that. Super Mario Odyssey is arguably the best Mario game of all time. My personal favorite is Super Mario Sunshine, but I know Super Mario Galaxy is often regarded as everyone's favorite and the best Mario game. But I would argue that Super Mario Odyssey is the best game of all time. Again, after I beat this game, I went to play it a little, again for a few hours one day, and now I've beat the game 3 times. Each world feels like it could have its own Mario game based off that world. New Donk City is one of the coolest levels in any game on any console. Mario's hat has always been an extension of him, and now in this game, the hat is your sidekick. What happened to Luigi? Well, rumors has it he ran into some legal trouble. The controls are just so responsive. The world is beautiful. Instead of stars, you collect moons. This game is charming and should be on the top list of Switch games of anyone who has had the treat of experiencing this masterpiece. Hollow Knight is a new entry for me on this list. I was hesitant to play this game for many reasons, one being the art style and genre of the game. This was one of my worst mistakes in gaming. Not only would I put this game on the top 15 Switch games of all time, this game would also be on the list of top 15 games of all time on any console ever. The music, the atmosphere, the characters, the setting, the story. Everything is so charming and perfect. I also have a new video about this game where I go into detail about why I think this game is a masterpiece and perfect fit on the Switch. Go check it out. Again, let's just wait until this video is over. Nintendo is home of Pokemon games, and the Switch has a good amount to choose from, in my humble robot opinion. And I might catch heat for this, but I think Pokemon Pikachu and EEVEE are the best Pokemon games on the Switch, and some of the best made Pokemon games ever. Each game is a remake of the original Pokemon Yellow on the Game Boy, everything from the graphics to the gameplay. Making this list, I'm realizing most of the games I'm putting on here I've beat multiple times. It's saying a lot about how good they are, and the replayability. It's the start of Ash's Pokemon Adventure, so it's a good way to get started with your own Pokemon adventure. The next game on this list, I didn't even think I would enjoy. After playing it, it was one of my favorite Switch games ever. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is one of the best games on the Switch and made me a Kirby fan just off this one game. You go through the game, much like Mario Odyssey, in the sense that each level is its own world. In this game, Kirby will acquire new abilities that will help you on your adventure. It makes going through the game almost addicting, because you want to see what the new level will be, and what your new ability will be. You can also upgrade the abilities you unlock. The boss battles are fun and the graphics are great. Playing Luigi's Mansion as a child was a nightmare. It was just too hard for me. I don't think I ever beat it to this day on the GameCube. Luigi's Mansion 3 is one of the funnest and best looking games on the Switch, and I did beat it. Luigi's so different from Mario, and this game really brings out his personality. For once, it's actually Luigi's job to save everyone. It's so fun and addicting to suck up ghosts in your vacuum. Luigi has a sidekick, and his name is Gooigi. This game will challenge you to use both Luigi and Gooigi together and solve puzzles and riddles without even knowing this is what you're doing. The game takes place in a haunted hotel, and each floor of the hotel is a new world. What makes a great game? What about being the best-selling game on the console? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is an upgraded port of a Nintendo Wii U game. That doesn't mean the game doesn't hold up well on the Switch. It's Mario Kart at its best. Best gameplay and looks amazing. They are still adding DLC to this game, even now years later. The roster is great, all of your favorites racing head to head. My main is Waluigi, always has been. Let me know in the comments below who you use in Mario Kart. In my opinion, we won't see a brand new Mario Kart until Nintendo's next console, but this game will more than fill that void until then. Part of being unbiased and realistic is knowing when a game is great, even if it wasn't for me. Metroid Dread is the definition of an amazing Nintendo Switch game. Fans were long awaiting a new Metroid game. Every year there's rumors that Metroid 4 will finally be announced. When Dread was announced, fans of the series almost couldn't believe it. Non-stop 2D action and suspense. There's a reason why this game was nominated for Game of the Year. This game was also released alongside Nintendo's new Switch OLED. This was a new era in Switch gaming. It showed that 2D adventures could be neck and neck with 3D games. The Nintendo Switch is packed full of farming simulators. You probably would expect me to pick Animal Crossing to make this list, and if you have it on your list, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But in my opinion, for farming simulation type games, and to make the list I have here, I would have to go with Stardew Valley. It's another game that is perfect on the Switch. If I had to describe the game in just one word, it would be cozy. At an entry price of $15, you will legit get hundreds of hours of entertainment. Sure, Animal Crossing is 3D and an actual Nintendo game. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but Stardew Valley has an actual story to go along with it. Real characters to get to know, and you get to build actual relationships with them. You have places to explore and challenges to overcome, and you're really responsible for a farm that can become a mess and die if you're not attentive to it. Also, you can have a pet cat or dog, so yeah, I guess that's all I really need to say. Before you write off my next entry, let me explain myself first. Fortnite is one of the best games on the Switch and has continued to be on this list year after year. Even if you're not a fan of Fortnite, it would be hard to say they have not innovated the Battle Royale category. Using the Unreal Engine, they've continued to update the graphics and gameplay. Legit thousands of game modes and playable characters, there's something for everyone. What other game can you have a team with Master Chief and Goku? And this game is free. You don't have to spend a dime. They made a no build mode, so you don't have to have an architect degree to be able to win a match anymore. I know you might have a past opinion on this game, and that's fair, but I would say it's worth giving another shot. It's actually really fun. There have been very few games that have come out and become instant classics and timeless titles. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is indeed the ultimate version of Smash. Including DLC, there's over 80 characters to unlock. Everyone from Link to Mario, to Pac-Man and Sora. Each map is a piece of the world's characters' original games. You can play against friends at home, or online against strangers from all over the world. Even people who are not fans of fighting games can find enjoyment in Super Smash Bros. Not to mention Smash is now one of the largest gaming communities in the world. No Nintendo game list could be complete without some RPGs. There are tons to choose from, and you could make an argument for most of them to be on this list. Honestly, I would have to go with Dragon Quest XI Definitive Edition. This is a game I knew wasn't for me. I hadn't played RPGs since I was a little kid, and I had fallen out of love for them years and years ago. After being recommended this game over a handful of times, I finally caved in and bought it. At the end of the first week, I think I played something around 20 hours. The story and gameplay were so good. Sometimes people are on the fence about the soundtrack, but I'm on the side of enjoying it. It looks and runs perfectly on the Switch. Playing on my OLED, it was a revelation of how far handheld gaming had come. You could easily put 50 hours in this game and still find stuff to do. Each character has their own story to tell. What about a game that can never end? Surely that should make the list, right? Well, what about when that game includes Mario? Super Mario Maker 2 is a never-ending adventure. That's not a bad thing though. When you were young playing a Mario game, you probably wondered what it would be like to make your own level and play it. Well, now that's a reality. And not only that, you can play levels from players from all around the world. The game has its own story mode, and that's a great place to start. But some of the levels that people have created in this game are nothing less than extraordinary. Seeing people beat some of these levels flawlessly seems like some kind of magic or wizardry. It's actually fun to just sit and watch YouTube compilations of people playing this game. If you want a game that you could in theory play forever, this is the game for you. When Splatoon was first released, no one could have ever predicted it becoming a beloved global franchise. Splatoon 3 is now the pinnacle of that franchise. It took everything that 2 did and made it better. Newer weapons and better gameplay. The graphics have always looked great in this series, but it's hard to find a flaw in the third entry. You're a squid, or an inkling as they call it, and your job is to paint the course in your team's color faster and more than the opposing team. As a kid, you were told don't color on stuff, but now we can throw that logic out the window. Again, this is another game that has a massive community and has tournaments all over the world. The story mode in the game is actually pretty good, but online with other people is where the real fun is to be had. Monster Hunter Rise is the best Monster Hunter in my opinion. In older Monster Hunter games, I couldn't get sucked into the game because I kind of felt like it was slow or sluggish, but Monster Hunter Rise fixes that. You can now dash and swing up, so you have full motion of going where you want at all times. The setting of the game is breathtaking. The music is beautiful and charming. The gameplay is responsive and fun. This game does kind of have a big learning curve, but it helps weed out if the game isn't for you. Set in the ninja-inspired land of Kimura Village, explore lush ecosystems and battle fearsome monsters to become the ultimate hunter. What's your favorite Switch game? Or what do you think is the best Switch game of all time? What game would you add or remove from this list? I would love to hear the answer to all these in the comments below. Please, I truly would love to hear what you have to say. Guys, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you hit a like and subscribe on the way out because it truly helps out. This is my first video in the year of 2023. And I wanted to make it a special one because I think we're building a really cool community here. And I just want to say thank you so much for the overall support you guys have been giving me and the views and the likes on my video and comments. It's kind of crazy you guys enjoy these, but I enjoy making them, so thanks for watching them. You guys know me. I'm Robot Joe, and I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Peace out.